Now, what does this mean for Jimmy Butler? I thought maybe he'd be involved in this like a weird side crazy trade, but it seems like the market for Jimmy has kind of soured and it's not looking too great. And it doesn't look like public opinion is really huge on Jimmy Butler, although I'm starting to come around on Jimmy Butler and kind of not saying
In
I
what
like what
way?
he's doing. I respect what he's doing. He's standing by his morals, man.
Yo,
Like,
you know, there's some hills you die on. Like I give you credit for not
look,
standing on it, but if you want to, I'm not.
a man without his word is not a man.
uh,
Mad Dog Russo, I guess he's a man. He's got a loud mouth. He recently kind of went in on Jimmy Butler saying some not so great things about number 22.
Steve, Shem, when is Phoenix going to learn that bringing in another player from another franchise, it doesn't work? They haven't won anything with Durant. Bradley Beal has been a disaster. And now we're going to bring in a 35-year-old guy who's disgruntled, who will be into it, will play, but you never know about his durability issues. So now we're going to try it again, bringing a guy paying him $50 million and pair him up with Durant, Beal, and Booker and hope for a miracle without home court in that conference. I'm not sure if that's the way you build a winning franchise. And one thing about the two NBA finals, let's be fair. One of the NBA finals was during the COVID period in the bubble, and half the teams are not into it. And the other NBA final, they got destroyed by Denver. Furthermore, he stayed in a hotel 30 miles away from the team when they were in the finals in Denver. This is a guy that wouldn't even get on a team plane. I mean, I tell you right now, if it was my team and I was an owner, he's not on it because A, he's never won anything. He's not on the team. I can't stand that kind of behavior. And I said this last week, I'm going to say it again. Pat Riley is a Hall of Fame coach and a Hall of Fame general manager. I'll go down the tubes with Pat before I'm going to go down the tubes with Jimmy Butler. All there is to it. They have to trade him. Let him sit. Why go placate Jimmy Butler? I mean, the idea that Shaq this week said it's just basketball. What are you, crazy? He's making $50 million a year and doesn't even play, doesn't show up, walks out of practice, doesn't go on team planes. Who would want that headache on your ball club? I would have nothing to do with him if I was an owner in an NBA. And the owner makes the call, not the GM. The owner on Butler makes the call. The idea that the GM does is nonsense. It's the owner to bring this kind of player in with all this hassle. The owner makes the decision, not the general manager.
A lot right there. Maybe a little extreme from Mad Dog, but that's what you get. Jimmy Butler, I do feel as though he is still a valuable piece to a team in the right situation. But he does bring up some points, Vlad. Like you said, he's 35 years old, and he played for Thibodeau, Tom Thibodeau. So he may be 40 years old, age-wise, with the tread on his tires. To say he hasn't won anything, he's actually won 2 Eastern Conference finals, and he's gone to the finals twice. And I don't take that bubble doesn't count for anything because half the teams weren't in it. Nah, that's not true. These guys are all.
He hasn't won a ring.
He has not won a ring. A lot of guys haven't won rings.
Right, but so.
And to say, oh, you think that's going to be a good pairing? Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker? Yeah, that's a pretty darn good pairing, Vlad. Oh, you don't like it? Do you want Jimmy on your team? Would you choose the Knicks?
No.
I'll tell you, the Pelicans, I wouldn't mind a little Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones trade for Jimmy Butler because, number one, I'm just really tired. I'm like most people, fatigued by Jimmy Butler and what he's doing. And I know Brandon Ingram's going to leave the first chance he gets when he's a free agent. Herb Jones, though, I love him. He's great. But, I mean, if I'm going to lose those two guys, I'd rather gain them with my Miami Heat than
the team Jimmy needs to go to is Memphis.
And he doesn't want to go there.
And he doesn't want to go there.
Because John Morant's the boss, and he can't be the boss. And John Morant's
it doesn't matter where. What are you talking about? Anywhere Jimmy's going, he's not going to be the boss.
No, he's past that point.
This is the only place where Jimmy would still be the man. And you could tell that the Heat are trying to move to a different
I give the Heat
direction where
the
core is Bam, Tyler, Nico, and Khalil Ware.
Maybe the best thing for the Heat is just Jimmy sits out the rest of the year and in the offseason.
Nah, I don't think Mickey could pay somebody money that's not actually earning it.
So what type of trade can you even get? They said the market is sour. Now, once again, we've seen a sour market turn very sweet in the last week because once again, February 6th.
Market's only sour depending on what the Heat want.
We see things where like, no way is he getting traded. You never think Luka Doncic was going to get traded. Lo and behold, weird things happen near the trade deadline.
But here's the thing, though. As crazy as people want to say because they're shocked, and the only reason why people are shocked, they really sit down and think about it. It's not really a shocking trade. Lakers are one of the most marquee franchises in all of sports, but definitely in the NBA. LeBron's about to leave. You need another superstar. The Dallas feel like they can win an NBA championship.
They do.
They feel like they need another big man. Anthony Davis just a week ago was saying he would rather play the 4 and play the 5. He could play the 4. They think the Lakers could win a championship. Well, you know what? If I was Nico Harrison, the Mavericks, I'm thinking, well, you want to play the 4? I got 2 guys that could play the 5, and Darryl Gafford and Derek Lively. So you know what? Daniel Gafford and Lively. So I was like, you know what? Let's make a deal. Let's make a trade. The only team that's willing to make a trade like that would be the Lakers. People are just upset because it was quiet. Nobody broke it. By the way, shout out to Shams again. Who had a better first year with an organization? Dan, this is going to be a question for, everybody for the rest of the show. Saquon Barkley or Shams Charania?
Definitely Saquon.
Really? I don't know, man. Shams was he was dead on right about the Jimmy situation.
That's not hard.
Oh, yes, it is.
When you've got good sources, it's very easy to
what about when you're good? What about when people are trying to stain your source? Huh? How about when
they're trying to come at you, but if you know they're good, you stand by your source.
But everybody was coming at him, and he, you know what? He stood 10-toe down the way Jimmy did. Unfortunately, his 10-toe down was positive. Jimmy's 10-toe down is not too positive.
Shams and Bob Woodward, put them in the Hall of Fame together.
So there you go. But the Jimmy situation is nasty because everybody knows it has to end. So if I know that this end breakup is gonna happen, why am I gonna give you my best resources or assets to give to you?
Like I said, as a Pelicans fan, Brandon Ingram's gone. He'd be a great player on this team, by the way. I don't care if he doesn't fit right. He fits right. Anybody that can score 20-something points a game fits right. Herb Jones, all defensive player. That fits right on any team also. So I don't want to hear that wouldn't be a good fit for the Miami Heat. Heat fans, please tell me that it's not a good fit. Goodbye.
I think the Heat already got their starting 5, man.
Brandon Ingram and Herb Jones would be a pretty darn good addition.
No. But I'm saying right now, if you look at it, you got Ware at the 5, Bam at the 4, the position he's always wanted to play, right? You got Tyler running the show. Now the question is, do you want Tyler being the 2 and have a point guard that can set him up, or do you want another guard who can also get his baskets? That's why I thought Desmond Bane would have been perfect for this team.
That's what I'm saying, though. Any team that does trade with the Heat for Jimmy Butler got to want a lot. Like I said, as a Pelicans fan, I've kind of reasoned that, Brandon Ingram's going to leave anyway. Herb Jones is a nice piece. The money works. But I also want some picks. I want some other things from the Heat. Like, I'm not just going to trade for Jimmy Butler. And, you think Jimmy Butler's going to give his best effort in New Orleans? Yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying. Teams know this, man, and they're going to.
And he might not show up.
Yeah, that'd be awesome too. $50 million not to show up. I'm already dealing with that here, so I don't know. And the Heat have been nice. The Heat could have done some really nasty things, or maybe they could have, or they could have been a lot nastier. I think the Heat have taken the high road. Jimmy, he's doing what he's doing. Should be interesting. The deadline is Thursday. It is going to be February 6th on Thursday. Like I said, a lot of sour, quote unquote, markets get really sweet that last week. We'll see what happens.